Alright, picture this. You're in a space designed for peace, a sanctuary from the everyday chaos. I'm sitting in a quiet room surrounded by people I barely know, a circle of strangers united by a common thread of seeking healing. And then, someone just handed me a cup of psychedelic tea. It looked innocent enough, but I knew it held the potential for profound change. Sounds wild, right? A little out there, maybe even scary. But let me back up and give you the context, the journey that led me to that very moment. For years I struggled with PTSD. It was a constant battle, an invisible weight that shaped my every decision. Nightmares, anxiety, vivid flashbacks that would transport me back to the source of my trauma in an instant. That constant sense of dread just lurking in the background, a shadow that never truly disappeared, always threatening to engulf me. Therapy helped. It gave me tools and strategies, but there were always days where it felt like I just wasn't making progress, like I was hitting a wall no matter how hard I tried. So, when I heard about people finding relief with psychedelics, not as a recreational escape, but as a tool for healing, I got curious. I needed to know more. Not the party drug stereotype, but guided intentional therapy, a carefully controlled environment with trained professionals. I did my research, hours upon hours of reading studies, articles, and personal accounts. I found a licensed retreat with medical professionals, experienced therapists, and a clear safety protocol in place. It was crucial to me that it was a legitimate and safe environment. It wasn't cheap, a significant investment in my well-being, and I was nervous as hell. The uncertainty was definitely unsettling, but honestly, I was tired of being stuck, of living in the shadow of my past. I needed to try something different. The day of the session, my heart was pounding in my chest like a drum solo. I could feel the anxiety radiating through my entire body. I met with my guide, a therapist who explained every step, answering all my questions and addressing my concerns with patience and understanding. The dose was measured out with precision, and I was told to set an intention, to focus my mind on what I hoped to achieve during the experience. Mine? Let go of what's holding me back, to release the grip of the past and embrace the possibility of a brighter future. I drank the tea, taking a deep breath and trusting the process. It tasted earthy, bitter, a reminder that healing isn't always easy or pleasant. Within half an hour the world started to shift, subtly at first, then with increasing intensity. Colors looked brighter, more vibrant, as if a filter had been removed from my vision. My thoughts, usually racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour, slowed down, becoming more deliberate and focused. I felt waves of emotion. Some memories bubbled up from the depths of my subconscious, but instead of being overwhelmed by them, I was able to sit with them, to observe them without judgment, to process them in a new light. My guide checked in regularly, offering support and encouragement, grounding me with simple instructions like reminding me to breathe deeply. What stood out wasn't some wild hallucination or fantastical vision. It was this deep sense of understanding, a profound shift in perspective that allowed me to see my trauma in a new way. I saw myself with more compassion than I ever had before, recognizing my strength and resilience in the face of adversity. Some people cry during these experiences. I laughed and cried, sometimes at the same time, a release of pent-up emotions that had been trapped inside me for far too long. It was exhausting, both physically and emotionally, but in a good way, like finally putting down a heavy backpack I'd carried for years, a weight that had been dragging me down and preventing me from moving forward. The next few days were gentle, almost tender, a period of quiet reflection and integration. I journaled a lot, processing my experience and trying to make sense of the insights I had gained. My nightmares eased up, replaced by more peaceful and restful sleep. I felt lighter, more hopeful, but also cautious, knowing that the real work was just beginning. The retreat made it clear, psychedelics aren't a magic fix, a quick and easy solution to complex trauma. Integration is key, the process of incorporating the insights and experiences from the psychedelic session into your daily life. I kept meeting with my therapist, working through the emotions and memories that had surfaced during the retreat, and honestly, that's where a lot of the real change happened, in those ongoing therapy sessions where I was able to process and integrate my experience. So was it worth it? The cost, the fear, the uncertainty? For me, yes, without a doubt. It didn't erase my PTSD, it didn't magically make everything better, but it opened a door I didn't know was there. A pathway to healing that I hadn't been able to find before. It gave me hope, a renewed sense of possibility, and the courage to continue on my healing journey. Here's the thing, this isn't for everyone, and it's important to approach it with caution and respect. It's still experimental, the research is ongoing, and it's not legal everywhere. So it's crucial to be aware of the legal and ethical considerations. But if you're struggling with PTSD or any other mental health condition and nothing else has worked, if you feel like you've exhausted all other options, talk to a professional, a qualified therapist or psychiatrist about your options, and explore whether psychedelic-assisted therapy might be right for you. There's no shame in seeking help, in admitting that you're struggling or in trying something new, something that might offer a different path to healing. Thanks for listening to my story, for taking the time to hear my experience. Take care of yourself, prioritize your mental health, and remember, you're not alone in this journey.